This is Jeremy coming at you live. So, I actually released my quantum computing book, Introduction to Quantum Computing. This is the boring cover. It's pretty cool. I'm out here promoting it just because I'm going to give it out for free for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow. So, definitely check it out. You know, it's on Amazon, so I self-published it. It's going to be available for free starting the 3rd of April to the 7th. And it's this one, this cover. The cool cover is not for free. There's 2 versions of it, or variants, whatever you want to call it. The other one just has like cool art on it, so but it's the same content, same information. This book, covers mostly things for beginners, different use cases for quantum computers, a bunch of near-term hybrid algorithms, things like VQEs, VQAs, QAOAs. Those are variational quantum algorithms, quantum neural networks, things like that. And then it has a bunch of coding examples too. So definitely check it out. This is my first book, so if you could give me any feedback or review, definitely do so. Check out my author bio. There's a little Easter egg there if you can find it. Yeah, so far it's pretty cool. I worked about 6 years of research into this book, so definitely worth the buy. And even if you don't buy it, you can download it for free for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow. So definitely check it out. You will be glad you downloaded it. Trust me. There's so much information in there about quantum computers. My next book I'm thinking of writing is probably going to be a science fiction with a multiverse theme, just because I totally believe in the multiverse. And we've already met several requirements for actually creating our own multiverse within our own universe, so pretty cool stuff. And then I also have a blog, so if you want to check that out, do so. It's through Medium, so that's a research blog. I write a lot there too. Let's see if I can get it up for you. And I'll also be giving out copies of my book for free to my YouTube subscribers, so that'll probably be like once a month. I'll select like a winner for it, and yeah, so keep following me and you'll earn some really cool books. Let's see. This is one of the latest pictures I used in my research blog. I like it because it's like almost DNA crystals, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to read one of my blogs to you, one of my blog posts to you, just because why not, right? Let's get it straight from the source, at least the way I would have thought it, Alright, here it is. If you don't already know, my name's Jeremy. I have a bunch of followers on Medium, and I hope to get more. So, longevity. What is a study of genes and their roles in inheritance? Genetics is the study of how living organisms inherit traits from their parents, right? The word genetics was first used in 1905 by English biologist William Bateson? I don't know how to say that. He used to describe the study of heredity. The variation of inherited characteristics, inherited traits, are determined by genes, which are molecules that carry the instructions for a particular trait, right? Genes are passed down from parents to their children through reproduction. The offspring inherit a copy of their parents' genes. Most of the time it's a mixed copy because, XY, and then it mixes so that you get, what is that called? Random. Most humans do this process called random mating, which helps your genes get mixed and helps your survival a lot better, or helps you to be more likely to survive. For example, the gene for the eye color is passed down from their parents to their children. If both parents have brown eyes, the child is likely to have brown eyes. If one parent has blue eyes and the other parent has brown eyes, the child is likely to have blue eyes. That may not be as true, just because the way Punnett squares work. If you don't know what a Punnett square is, it's kind of like measuring the probability of the genes that come out. So yeah, so research Punnett squares. It's pretty cool though. Geneticists use a variety of techniques to study genes and inheritance. These techniques include observing and analyzing how traits are passed down from parents to their offsprings, and looking at DNA sequences of genes. By understanding genetics, we can learn more about how living organisms develop and evolve. Genetics also play an important role in medicine, as it can be used to diagnose and treat genetic diseases. On a side note, there's also this thing called personalized medicine, where they actually take your DNA and scan it for likelihood of diseases, because a lot of diseases do have some genetic basis. So personalized medicine is going to be huge in the future. It's already changing the way we hospitals operate, so that'll definitely help too. So researchers have found that OCT4, SOX2, and KLF4 genes can be used to reverse aging permanently. The three genes are responsible for the production of proteins that regulate cell growth and aging. So OCT4, SOX2, and KLF4, there's a bunch of different variants of these genes. I'll keep reading because it kind of covers it later. Longevity refers to the length of time a particular species can live, right? And produce offspring. In general, the longer an animal lives, the more offspring it produces. In the study of animal behavior, longevity is usually considered in relation to reproductive success. Longevity refers to the number of viable offspring an animal produces over its lifetime. In the study of animal behavior, longevity is usually considered in relation to reproductive success. Ooh la la! Longevity is an important factor in determining an animal's fitness. Studies have shown, in general, the longer an animal lives. Oh, did I already read that? Ew, I need to edit this. Well, that's gonna get edited because that's very repetitive, huh? Silly Jeremy. There are many factors that contribute to an animal's longevity. For example, an animal's diet, environment, genetics can play a role in how long it lives. Additionally, some animals are simply more resistant to disease and predators than others. While longevity is an important factor in fitness, it is not the only one. An animal's reproductive success also depends on its ability to find mates, to produce offspring that are themselves viable and fit, and care for its young. Different species have different longevity rates. In general, however, longer animal lives. Jesus, why is this all repetitive? Come on, dude. I gotta learn to edit better, huh? The researchers found that artificially manipulating genes, they could prevent cells from aging. This works by adding extra copies of these genes to your body. In theory, this means that people who have their genes manipulated could live forever. Or, really long time. We don't know how many times we can reset the gene, but... So I've written several articles pursuing anti-aging technology. I recently reread the book Lifespan by David Sinclair. There are many different forms our immortality could present itself in. We are already creating millions of digital twins of our Earth thanks to several companies like Nvidia, Meta / Facebook, Google, IBM. They've all started simulating Earths in order to pursue better marketing trends, yet this reaches beyond marketing, right? We can predict weather within a week ahead of time with high fidelity. We can even use this to reverse climate change if we were to position carbon negative structures and like filters in certain problematic areas to reduce the impact of climate change. So there are many uses for simulating Earths aside from just making money, right? The first main thought behind biological immortality would be to have a body and mind that repair itself faster than they get damaged. The second method would be to merge ourselves with machines, allowing our... Oh, so this is like talking about digital immortality. I gotta make that a little more clear. It's kind of before and after, right? So yeah. Second method would be merge with machines, allowing our thoughts to live on after our death. And last, the most thought of lately would be to back up our consciousness and download it into... So we could probably back up our consciousness and download it to a new body later on in the future. Digital immortality has already been achieved with millions of digital twins being created, but they are not sentient just yet. What would it take to make a digital twin that was sentient? What would it take for a digital twin to be you? What would it take for you to be able to back up yourself into like a new body or a computer, What would be the economic, political, societal ramifications of achieving biological immortality? There are many things to consider with the advent of mind uploading and anti-aging technology. Let's dive in a little bit. David explains in his book how our DNA is separated into analog copies and digital copies. The reason our bodies age is the analog copies get scratches. And so in the book, he kind of compares the DNA to like a disc, like a CD. If you don't know what a CD is, you're probably really young. And basically, they used to store information on discs or CDs, and these CDs would get scratches on them, and so that you wouldn't be able to read the information as well. But then there found ways of polishing the disc so that you could get the information back. And then so that's kind of what a disc is. Hence, he's been researching several different methods of polishing the DNA disc and getting back that information clearer than ever. So resveratrol, NMN, and those 3 genes that I brought up earlier are promising partials to the overall cure to aging. They work in different ways and on different sectors of the body. I only wish I had the funding to conduct my own research and build my own version of this cure to open source it to the public. Why would I do that? Because I've lived in this world long enough to know that the first people to get these cures to aging are not the ones that are going to need it. It's probably going to be rich people that don't need to continue their wealth building. We have to build a way for all of us to sustain our lives and planets. Sure, we only have one Earth for now, but since we've created millions of digital twins, we've fulfilled one possible requirement for a self-healing reality, which means we might be able to change the version of reality we live in. If this one goes kablooey, image of a mushroom cloud, right? We might be able to live in a digital version of it, at least if you take quantum physics into account. All of this is pretty high level, so if you don't understand it, that's totally fine. Or if you think there's only one Earth, that's okay. You're completely wrong, but it's okay. You can keep that limited thinking to yourself. For those of you with more open minds, I strongly believe in the multiverse. It will be really cool to see more emerging technology change this world. We haven't seen yet. Biological immortality refers to the ability of a living organism to live forever. Digital immortality, on the other hand, is the ability of a person's consciousness to be transferred to a computer or a digital device, right? There are several differences between the two concepts. First, biological immortality is a physical ability. Oh, I changed this. I don't know why it's still saying ability. It should say method. So many mistakes, but it's okay. I'll correct it, and I'll have a better version after this. But while I'm reading it, it's fine. Whereas digital immortality is a more mental method. That means that in theory, digital immortality could be achieved by anyone, regardless of their physical condition. Additionally, digital immortality would not be necessarily require the use of artificial intelligence or other forms of advanced technology. Rather, it would simply require that the person's consciousness be transferred to a computer or a digital device. The second key difference between the two concepts is that while biological immortality is a natural method, digital immortality is an artificial method. This means that in theory, digital immortality could be achieved through the use of technology. Additionally, it is possible that digital immortality could be achieved in a way that does not require... Oh my gosh, that's so repetitive. I need to fix all these mistakes. Silly me. Now in the future, we will be able to combine the two methods, right? We could live in a digital world for a few years and then download to the physical world if we wanted to. There's a bunch of movies and shows that take this idea for a storytelling spin. You can check out Altered Carbon on Netflix. They do a really good job of mixing biological immortality and digital immortality as an idea. They have these things like in the back of the neck that like connect to the body. It was pretty cool to watch. And they call them stacks. So how are scientists developing ways to reverse the aging process and extend our lifespans? Excuse me. So last year, that's not true. Man, I gotta change a bunch of this stuff. Sorry about that. So let's just go with a study made waves in the longevity community when it showed that it was possible to partially reprogram old cells, allowing them to regain youthful function. Led by a team including the legendary Dr. David Sinclair, the researchers used a process called cellular reprogramming to successfully rejuvenate old cells in the eyes of mice, particularly restoring vision in the mouse model of glaucoma. The study provides exciting new evidence that it may be possible to slow down or even reverse the aging process at a cellular level. However, it's important to note that the study in mice is not clear if the same results would be seen in humans. Nevertheless, the findings are promising first step towards developing treatments that could one day help humans live longer, healthier lives, right? In addition to this study on cellular reprogramming, There is other exciting research going on in the field of longevity. For example, a company called Ligenesis is working on regenerating tissue and organs in humans. The company has already shown that it can regrow functioning ectopic organs in a patient's lymph nodes by using cellular therapy. This could potentially be a game changer for people with various liver diseases, including end-stage liver disease. It could also allow tissue from one donor organ to treat many patients. There's also things called 3D printing organs, so check that out. That was pretty cool. Ligenesis achievements are a crucial step towards whole organ regeneration that could, along with other upcoming technologies, allow us to live 200 years or beyond. Another company, Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk, is developing a brain-computer interface that could give us the ability to control computers and smartphones with our minds. The company has already demonstrated that it can record a rat's brain activity through thousands of tiny electrodes implanted in the brain. I think a year or two ago they also did a pig study, so you could see how pigs think of stuff. So that was like 2021, I think. So yeah, they already put it into pigs and it works fine, and they took it off as well, showing that there was like no damage to the brain by putting it on and off. Neuralink is preparing for human trials. If successful, first plans to use their devices to help paraplegics with tasks such as making math clicks on a computer. However, the potential applications for this technology are far broader. It could be one day help patients with severe age-related neurological conditions such as dementia or Parkinson's. It could also help with depression and anxiety later on. So that's pretty cool. That's why I really want Neuralink in my brain, is because I have severe depression and it would be so nice to not have depression. Finally, researchers are making progress on rewiring the genome to cure disease. For example, a new technology called prime editing has a potential to correct 89% of human diseases. Prime editing doesn't rely on the ability of cells to divide to make changes in DNA, so it could be used to correct genetic mutations in cells that don't often divide, such as those in the nervous system, and this could provide a cure for a number of previously untreatable diseases such as Parkinson's and Huntington's. These are just a few examples of groundbreaking research that is being done to extend human lifespan. While there is much work to be done, the progress that has been made in the past few years is truly incredible, and there is reason to be optimistic. We will continue to make major strides in the fight against aging. If you don't think, living forever is natural, that's totally fine. You can have a conversation with a bunch of people in the comments section. I, for one, think that we do a bunch of unnatural things anyway. Like, I don't think computers were natural, and I freaking love computers, so. And also, we would die at like 30 in the past, and now we're, up to the 80s average lifespan, and that's going to extend way further. Soon. I'm going to edit this article just because it was not very. There were too many repetitive things here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed me kind of reading this article. Check out my book, Introduction to Quantum Computing. It will be free for the next 3 days, starting tomorrow, so definitely check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck.